Hello everyone, this is Mrs. Fan. This is a recorded video for week 4, day 1. Just a reminder, the notebook is due today, so make sure to turn it in by the end of the day if you haven't turned it in yet. Second, tomorrow, Wednesday, there is no school, so make sure to not log into your classes. There will be no assignment posted for Wednesday. Again, it's not a asynchronous Wednesday. We just do not have school Wednesday because of Veterans Day tomorrow. This Thursday and Friday during lunchtime, we will also have an opportunity for you to take the makeup quiz. If you're interested to take the makeup quiz to receive a higher points for your quiz, make sure to come to my Google Meet, Miss Fan 34 during Thursday or Friday during lunchtime. Also, next week, we will have minimum day the entire week. So again, please double check the schedule that you get. And we will have minimum day the entire week. We'll still keep the block schedule. So we are still meeting the same dates. It's just that for Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, the time that you will be meeting will be shorter than usual. With that said, we are going to recap the key points. So in the last two scopes, we have learned that cells are the smallest part of living things. There are definitely things that are smaller than cells, but they are not living. Atoms, molecules, cell organelles, DNA. Yes, they are smaller, but they are not considered as a living things. So the smallest living things that you can get to is a cell. The second point that we have learned is that cell organelles, they work together to help cell to perform different functions. Nucleus, for example, control the cells. Mitochondria, they create power using sugar and oxygen. Now, we also want to talk about another point, which is why should we learn about the different part in the cells called cell organelle? How does that relate to our life? Well, it is actually to me really fascinating how cell works, how even though that they're so small, they're microscopic, but there's so much details to it. And for me myself, I actually majored in cell biology when I was in college because it was just really fascinating to me. But beyond that, when we look at the article that we read when we were studying about coronavirus in scope 1, the article that we read is called Nucella article, What is Virus? And when you were reading that article, one of the questions that I asked is, what is the difference between antibiotic and antiviral? And we learned that antiviral is for virus and antibiotic is for bacterial infection. You might remember taking antibiotic at times when you yourself got a bacterial infection. Or maybe when you are going to the doctor, sometimes they ask you or your parents whether you are allergic to penicillin. Penicillin too is a type of antibiotic. But how does antibiotic work? Antibiotic, it can work in different ways. Some antibiotic, they will block the bacterial cells from being able to make a cell wall. Yes, we talk about the difference between animal and plant cells, how animal cells, they do not have a cell wall, and plant cells, they do have a cell wall. But we haven't really talked about bacterial cells and all the parts that they have. So bacterial cells too, they do have a cell wall. So what antibiotics does is that they will prevent the bacteria in your body that is infecting you from making the cell wall. They can also work by disturbing the cell membrane. We learned that the cell membrane regulate what go in and out of the cell. So without being able to regulate what go in and out of this bacteria will no longer be able to survive. Some antibiotic can also work by blocking the bacterial cells from making proteins, and specifically in the part called ribosomes. So there are many ways of how antibiotic works, but it all starts from the cellular level. Another example is cancer cells. Many of you share that you have families or family friends who's had cancer before, and for cancer cell as well too. If we look at the nucleus of the normal cell and the cancerous cells, the difference we see is that the cancerous cells nucleus, they appear to be larger and darker than normal, and the changes in the genetic material in the DNA within the cancer cell, it can cause the cell to continue to multiply and grow, which is very famously known as a tumor in many types of cancer, because that it continue to grow without stopping. Now with that, I hope that this can re-emphasize why it is important for us to learn about cell organelle. Not just is fascinating, but antibiotic and also knowing people who have cancer around us too. It is all starting from a cellular level. Now, with that, we are going to move on up the scale, going from cell, tissue, organ, organ system, organism, population, community, ecosystem, biome, and biosphere. Now, so we just went to the very bottom of this level right now, cell, which we call the smallest part of living things. But if we go up, you can see that it will cover everything in the entire world. Biosphere, for example, that is talking about all the living things in the entire earth. Now, next year in 7th grade, you are going to learn the top of this pyramid right here from population and up. But for us in this year in 6th grade, we'll focus on this bottom part of the pyramid right here. So let's take a look. So again, we have talked about it quite a lot in the past video. Cell is the smallest part of living things. Now, when many of the same type of cell gather together, that can make a tissue. For example, muscular cells coming together, packing together, that can make muscular tissue. Nerve cells, which we call neuron, coming together, that can make the nervous tissues. How about organ? Go ahead and pause this video. Think about what kind of organ are in your body. What kind of organ can you name? Maybe you name brain, liver, lungs, kidney, etc. Now, all of those are organs within our body. Let's take a look at a heart, for example. For a heart, it doesn't just make a one type of tissue, but it's made of all kinds of tissues coming together. There's muscular tissue that allow the heart to move and to pump blood. There is blood vessels around the cell that help to carry and transport the blood, and also what is within the blood, like oxygen, nutrient, etc. There is also a layer of epithelial cells around it. So even within an organ, it actually consists of many types of cells. And beyond that, there is organ system, and that's what we are going to cover in this section on body system. So first, I want to get to know how much you know about the body system. Even though that this is a video, go ahead and take a moment to share with the person next to you. You can share with your parents or guardian, a sibling, a friend around you. What do you know about the body system? Go ahead and pause this video and share with a person next to you. Or you can write it down for yourself as well. Now, there are many types of body system, and to name a few, you can see that we have circulatory system, respiratory system, skeletal system, digestive system, nervous system, muscular system, and endocrine system. We actually have more systems than that. Here are just a few examples of different body systems in our body. Now, how do you think the different organs work together for each organ system to work? Pause the video to think about it. So again, right here, we have different organs in our respiratory system. How does all this organ that you see right here work together for the respiratory system to work? Or how does all the organs within digestive system work together? Again, please pause the video to think about this question. With that, our two questions that we want to explore in this section is number one, how do organs work together for each organ system to work? And number two, how do body system work together for our body to work? And we will first explore the question number one through the digestive system. So let's move on to our Google Classroom where we are going to explore our digestive system today. Make sure to go to your Google Classroom, click on classwork, go down to week 4. And you see the assignment right here, week 4 assignment, digestive system lab. Please know that we are spending the whole week on this assignment. We'll do the first part today and we will do the second part on day 3. I would like you to open both links. This first link is where the lab is located and this link is where you record the information from your lab. I'll first take you to the Gizmo website and then I'll go over the assignment. So right here, when you click on the link for the Gizmo website, you might have noticed that you will only have 5 minutes to do it. Don't forget to click log in. If you cannot find your login information, you can email me and let me know. My email is right here on the top. If you log in, you will have unlimited time to complete this lab. Alright, second, let's take a look at our assignment and we'll come back to this lab. In the assignment right here, it said, in this lab, your goal is to design your own digestive system and learn how all the organs work together. So there are 2 parts that we are going to work on today. Part A. To begin, look at the organ at the large organ tabs. So in the large organ tabs, you will see there are 7 different organs. Mouth, esophagus, large intestine, rectum, first part of small intestine, and the second and third part of small intestine, and the stomach. As you put your cursor on it in your lab, you will find the function, and we want to figure out number 1, 2, and 3. Number 1, which organ allow nutrient to be absorbed. Number 2, which organs store and compact waste before it's eliminated. Number 3, which 2 organs help to break down food mechanically. Again, you have 7 choices up here to figure this out in your lab. Okay, when you put the cursor on each one of this, you can see that this gray box will show the function. Take a look which one have the function listed for 1, 2, and 3. Part B, trial number 1. Now it's time to design and build your own digestive system. First of all, start with the large organ tab to build a basic system. Then make sure that you want to start with a mouth. Next, attach organ from small organ all the way to large organ to complete your system. Now, as you are doing that, we are going to take some time for you to either do a screenshot or you can just write down the list of what you have. So again, it doesn't have to be right. You can try and be creative and try different combination. The combination I'm going to try this time is mouth, stomach, esophagus, and rectum. I'm wondering that if I switch some of the order of the digestive system and take out some part, what would happen? So let's take a look. I will start with mouth, stomach, esophagus, and rectum, like this. You can also add small organ right here. Again, be creative. It doesn't have to be what our digestive system looks like, you can do different combination to try that if we switch the order, if we take out some organ, what will happen. Now, after you design your digestive system with large and small organ, make sure to click right here to food. You have 6 food that you can choose from of what you want to feed to your system. Cheeseburger, an apple, tofu, pecan pie, baked potato, or garden salad. I'm going to try cheeseburger right here. Again, now I have the digestive system and I put the food right here. Make sure to press play to look at the digestive system. So right here, right now we see that the digestion is complete. The system absorbs 0% of the calorie and they absorb 0% of water. And with that, we are going to record our results right here. Again, number 4, you can either put a screenshot or you can just write down the list of organ in order. And number 5, explain why you arrange the digestive system this way. And right here, for mine, I'll put down 0% of calorie and 0% of water. That's all we'll get to today. Again, in part A, figure out the function of the different organ. And in part B, we will just do trial number 1. On day 3, when we come back, we'll continue with number 8, 9, 10, and 11. See you later and have a happy Veterans Day.